Power. It's the ultimate prize. The one thing that drives men and women to the brink of madness, the force that shapes destinies and alters the course of history. From the ancient empires of Rome and Egypt to the modern boardrooms of corporate giants, power is the invisible hand that guides the actions of the ambitious and the ruthless. In the vast universe of human affairs, it's a game that has been played for centuries, with rules that are both written and unwritten. The chessboard is a perfect metaphor for this game, where every move is calculated, every piece has a role, and the ultimate goal is to checkmate your opponent. A game with high stakes. Winners take all, losers fade into obscurity. The stakes are not just about winning or losing a match, but about gaining or losing influence, control, and power. The consequences of each move can be far-reaching, affecting not just the players, but entire nations and generations. To survive, you need to master the game. You need to understand the strategies, anticipate the moves of your opponents, and be willing to take risks. It's not enough to be good, you have to be the best. You have to be relentless, always thinking several steps ahead, always ready to adapt to changing circumstances. To win, you must be prepared to play dirty. This isn't about morality, it's about reality. In the game of power, there are no rules except those you make for yourself. Deception, manipulation, and cunning are not just tools, they are necessities. The end justifies the means, and the only thing that matters is victory. Niccolo Machiavelli, the infamous Renaissance thinker, knew this truth. He understood that power is not given, it is taken. His insights into human nature and political strategy have made him one of the most influential figures in the study of power dynamics. His masterpiece, The Prince, is a guidebook for those who seek power. It lays out the principles of leadership, the importance of pragmatism, and the necessity of being feared rather than loved. It is a manual for those who are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their goals. It's a cold, hard look at the nature of politics. It strips away the illusions of nobility and honor, revealing the brutal reality of power struggles. It teaches that in the pursuit of power, one must be prepared to make difficult choices, to sacrifice ethics for effectiveness, and to embrace the darker aspects of human nature, a reminder that nice guys finish last. In the ruthless game of power, only the strong, the cunning, and the relentless survive. It is a game that demands everything and gives nothing in return except the fleeting satisfaction of victory and the ever-present threat of being overthrown. Machiavelli's philosophy is simple. The ends justify the means. Morality is a luxury you can't afford when the game is power. It is better to be feared than loved, he wrote. A chilling statement, but a true one. Fear keeps people in line. Fear commands respect. Love is fleeting. It can be lost as easily as it's gained. Machiavelli understood this. He urged rulers to be cunning, to be ruthless, to do whatever it takes to hold on to power. Life, like chess, is a game of strategy. Every move has consequences. You must think ahead, anticipate your opponent's moves. And just like in chess, sometimes you have to sacrifice a piece to gain an advantage. Friends, allies, even loved ones, they can all become pawns in the game of power. It's a brutal truth, a truth Machiavelli understood all too well. He knew that to win, you must be willing to make difficult choices. Sacrifices are inevitable. Deception is a powerful weapon. A skilled player can manipulate their opponents, leading them into carefully laid traps. Machiavelli knew this. He wrote, "Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception. Think of the pawn, the weakest piece on the board, yet in the right hands it can become a queen. It's all about deception, making your opponent underestimate you, lulling them into a false sense of security." Section 5. Sacrifice and strategy lessons from the Sicilian defense. In chess, the Sicilian defense is a risky but rewarding opening move. It involves sacrificing a pawn to gain control of the center of the board. A bold move, a Machiavellian move. Life often demands similar sacrifices. Sometimes you have to give up something important to achieve a greater goal, a business deal, a personal relationship. These sacrifices can be painful, but they're often necessary for long-term success. Section 6. Checkmating your rivals, bold moves for ultimate power. Machiavelli believed that bold action is crucial for seizing and maintaining power. He wrote, "Fortune favors the bold," and he was right. History is full of leaders who achieved greatness through daring actions. Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan, these men were not afraid to take risks. They were ruthless, they were cunning, and they were ultimately victorious. They understood that in the game of power, hesitation can be fatal. Section 7. The Prince's legacy echoes of Machiavelli in modern times. Machiavelli's ideas might seem outdated, but look around. The world is still a chessboard. The game of power continues, and Machiavelli's principles are as relevant as ever. We see it in politics, in business, even in our personal lives. People are still driven by ambition, by the desire for power, and they're still willing to use whatever means necessary to get ahead. Section 8. The morality of power. A necessary evil? Is it wrong to play dirty? In the intricate game of chess, as in life, the lines between right and wrong can often blur. The question of whether it's acceptable to use underhanded tactics to achieve victory is one that has been debated for centuries. It's a question that has plagued philosophers for centuries. There's no easy answer. The great minds of history have pondered the morality of power, weighing the consequences of actions taken in the pursuit of success. Machiavelli believed that morality had no place in politics. He argued that the ends often justify the means, and that a ruler must be willing to do whatever it takes to maintain power and stability. His views have been both criticized and praised, but they remain influential to this day. But is that always true? Can we really separate ethics from our actions, especially when those actions impact others? The tension between achieving our goals and maintaining our integrity is a constant struggle. Perhaps there's a balance to be struck. A middle ground where one can be both effective and ethical. This balance is not easy to find, but it is essential for those who wish to lead with both strength and honor. A way to be both effective and ethical. In the game of chess, as in life, strategy and morality must coexist. The best players are those who can navigate the complexities of the game while staying true to their principles. But one thing is certain: to survive in the game of power, you need to understand the rules. Knowledge of the game, its strategies and its intricacies is crucial. Without this understanding, one is doomed to fail, and you need to be prepared to play to win. Success requires not just skill, but also the willingness to make tough decisions. In the end, the game of power is not just about winning, but about how you play the game. Section 9. Mastering the game, a delicate balance. Machiavelli's. The Prince is not a celebration of cruelty, rather it is a stark reminder of the realities of power. In the intricate game of chess, each move is calculated, each piece has a purpose, and every decision carries weight. Similarly, in the game of life and power, the stakes are high and the consequences of our actions are profound. It's a stark reminder of the realities of power. The Prince teaches us that power is not inherently good or evil. It is a tool, a means to an end. How we wield it defines our legacy. Just as a chess player must anticipate their opponent's moves, a leader must foresee the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. It's a call to action, a challenge to master the game, to understand the delicate balance between strategy and morality. In chess, a single misstep can lead to defeat. In life, a single decision can alter the course of history. The Prince urges us to be vigilant, to be strategic, and to be ever aware of the consequences of our actions. A challenge to master the game, to survive and thrive in a world where the stakes are high, where every move is scrutinized and every decision is judged. The game of power is not for the faint of heart. It requires courage, wisdom, and an unwavering commitment to one's goals. To survive and thrive in a world where the stakes are high, where alliances are formed and broken, where trust is a rare commodity, and where the line between friend and foe is often blurred. The Prince reminds us that in the pursuit of power we must be prepared for the unexpected, and we must be willing to adapt to changing circumstances. It's up to each of us to decide how far we're willing to go, to determine our own moral compass, to decide what we are willing to sacrifice in the pursuit of our goals. The Prince does not provide easy answers. It challenges us to think critically about the nature of power and the responsibilities that come with it, to determine our own moral compass, to navigate the complex and often treacherous waters of power and influence. The game of chess teaches us that every move has a consequence and every decision must be made with care. The Prince teaches us that the same is true in life. But one thing is clear: to ignore the lessons of Machiavelli is to do so at your own peril. The game is on, the stakes are high, and the consequences are real. Are you ready to play? Are you prepared to face the challenges and seize the opportunities that lie ahead? The choice is yours. Are you ready to play? The game of power is not for the faint-hearted. It requires strategy, foresight, and a willingness to take risks. The lessons of the Prince are timeless, and they remind us that in the pursuit of power, we must be ever vigilant, ever strategic, and ever aware of the delicate balance between ambition and morality.